Hello and welcome, guys. It is the Kawaii King. Welcome back to another game of League of Legends. Oh wait, no, it's not League of Legends. It's Legends of Runeterra. It's the card game equivalent of League of Legends. Also made by Riot Games, a small indie company, as we all know, with tons of bugs. So, get ready to experience that. I'm kidding. The bugs here in this game are they're not terrible. But the bugs you get here are like at the loading screen. There's like a bazillion champion card things, or there's no champions. It's weird. It's weird. It doesn't matter though. It doesn't affect the game in any way, shape, or form. So as long as that doesn't happen, I'm happy with it. Anyways, point being, this is a tutorial for Teemo. So I want to show you guys my little Teemo deck I have here. It's not complete, but it is enough to at least guide you the play style, or what are the play styles that you can take with Teemo, and pretty easily, honestly. I'm gonna actually, before I showed you the cards, I'm gonna show you guys how I did this. So at some point you're gonna reach a point in the game. Of course, you're gonna have quests and you're gonna have weekly vaults, and these are the things you need to do. These quests usually say like summon 15 Demacia cards, or summon 15 Shadow Isles cards, or whatever. It's gonna tell you to do something very specific, and you have to do it. Usually across multiple games. It doesn't have to be all at once. Usually, if it does have to be, it's an easier quest. But anyways, the point is, so you want to get experience from these things, so that you can get level up your weekly vault, which gives you cards and gives you shit that you can use every Tuesday for your decks. However, it's kind of random. If you really want to build up a deck, you want to go to Piltover and Zon, right? And do this. See this? And here is where you're going to start to get all the cards you need for Teemo. Most of the cards that basically work well with Teemo. So like Trump Wumps, just cards that throw shrooms at people. Which is basically what Teemo is. It's all shrooms. All shrooms. It's wonderful. I love it. It's marvelous. And this is where you can get Teemo. And you can get, without having to, pay money. You could, additionally go to the store. Get 3 champion cards for like 10 bucks, I think, and then you can just buy Teemo by going into collection. And then I actually didn't know this, so I'm gonna just tell you guys quickly. If you show unowned, you can just buy any card you want. I didn't know that. I don't know why. I'm stupid. I could have just gotten Teemo a lot earlier, but not that I didn't know that. I hope you guys know that. If you didn't know it, now you know it. So you can just buy cards that you don't own yet. So I thought you could only buy the cards that you get from RNG. So that's a really wonderful thing about this game. You can just get whatever you want. You don't have to rely completely on RNG. Anyways, so that's how you get the cards for Teemo. Just a quick guide on that. Not very in-depth, but I think you guys probably know what to do with that. I believe in your ability to, for logic. So I believe in you. You can do this. I believe in you. You can get the Teemo cards. But now it's time for me to actually show you what they are. So of course, Teemo. And what Teemo basically does is he's elusive, so that means that he can only be blocked by another elusive unit. It's kind of the equivalent of like being stealth in Runeterra. Like you can only be, except if in League you could attack other stealthy champions, I guess assassins only can kill assassins. It's kind of that logic. So yeah, they kind of, I don't know, anything that's not an elusive base, you just can't attack them on your attack turn. But if you block, you can block, but if you block, anything can hit you, so be careful about that. Just because you're elusive doesn't mean that if when you block they don't hit you, they still hit you, so careful on that. So yeah, so basically all you need to do is have 15 plus poison, or plant 15 plus poison puff caps and get to level 2, or his next form, whatever, which basically makes him even more bullshit. So before, what he could do is he could plant 5 poison puff caps, so if he hits the Nexus 3 times, he levels up. There are other ways to speed that process up, but eventually he doubles the amount of poison puff caps in the enemy deck. And what that means is every time they draw a card, the poison puff caps get distributed evenly, not evenly, randomly within the person's deck. So what happens is that when they draw a card, they may or may not get all of the puff caps at once, one of the puff caps, or, you know, 2 puff caps. So it's random. It's completely random. So the more puff caps you put in there, the higher of a chance you have of one-shotting them or doing a lot of damage. So that's why you want to put in as many puff caps as possible. You know, if you have a few, just like 14, 13, you may or may not draw a puff cap when they draw a card. So that's kind of the goal with him. So what I do to basically make sure they take all the damage, all the wonderful Teemo damage, is I make sure I get, for one, I get Clump of Wumps, right? So this is the card it shows I have here. I get all 3 of them. And it says when I'm summoned, create a Mushroom Cloud in hand. And a Mushroom Cloud is just basically the 5 poison puff caps that Teemo puts on an enemy deck. So let's say a Clump of Wumps. So basically in 2 rounds, I could summon Teemo, in the next round summon Clump of Wumps. And by then, I already have like 10 poison puff caps in the enemy deck. By 2 rounds. Wait, yes. Point being, you could quickly get enough poison puff caps to put him in the enemy, to quickly level up Teemo by level 3, level 4. And I will show you guys how that works in action. There are tons of cards here, so of course you're gonna have to look at them and mix and match and figure out what makes sense for you based on the deck you're building. In this case, I have an Ionia Piltover deck, and I'll explain why I did that in a bit. Of course, I added a Boom Crew Rookie just to deal an extra bit of enemy, you know, just a little bit of enemy Nexus damage, just so I can quickly burn through the Nexus. Because the longer the game lasts, the better for me as a Teemo player. But usually I end up losing quickly. I usually lose if the game goes too quickly, or I get to mid game and they're pulling out like Yones and Yasuos and I'm getting stunned constantly. Like, things like that will definitely fuck you up. And there's a way that I've kind of figured out how to counter that, which is just basically go Ionia as well, with Deny, which allows me to block spells that might mess me up a lot. But anyways, point being, the next thing I do is I get a Parade of Electro Rig. You want to get this because you can shuffle 4 copies of the supported ally in your deck. And there's a really big piece for this. So when I have a Teemo and this specific card, I can shuffle 4 copies of Teemo in my deck, which is ridiculous. It's stupid, and there's a big reason why it's stupid. I'll explain it a bit. But I mean, the big point is, you know, if your Teemo dies or whatever, you don't have to completely rely on that Teemo. You'll have more Teemos in your deck, for one. So if an elusive enemy comes up, you can just, you know, you can defend. You don't have to worry about losing that one Teemo in your deck. So this is kind of just like to make sure you don't run out of Teemos. Of course, we have the Puff Cap Peddler, who is incredibly useful because every time you cast a spell, he will plant 3 poison puff caps. So you kind of you don't want to use him so much for fighting enemies, but more so for just, you know, in the back line, just keep him there. Because what will happen is every time, for example, if I summon a Chump Wump and he creates 2 Mushroom Clouds, which are 2 spells. They're burst spells, which means you can they resolve instantly. There's no way to deny them. There's no way to stop them. And you can use them in between attacks and stuff. Like, they're very quick. They're much quicker than fast spells. And there's no real way to block them, so they just happen. So for example, if I have this guy, Puff Cap Peddler, already, and then I summon a Chump Wump, I'm able to summon 2 Mushroom Clouds, right? And if I use both of them, what'll end up happening is, instead of getting 10 puff caps into the enemy deck, I'll have 16. So 8 plus 8, 16. You don't get negative puff caps on Puff Cap Peddler. But yeah, you get 16. But anyways, that's basically it. These are the cards that you want to use with Teemo for Piltover. There are many more cards depending on what you want to do. You know, there's many different kinds of combinations of shit you can do. The one other card that I add, though, is Funsmith, and what she does is she adds she deals 1 extra damage on all of your spells and skills. So I'm pretty sure I haven't seen it yet because I haven't had enough time to summon her, because last game I'll show you guys what happens, but last game I was able to summon 3 Teemos on my hand. not my hand, yeah, my hand or whatever. I was able to play 3 Teemos, right? So they were already level 2, so I added 6 times the amount of shrooms. I basically doubled the enemy's puff cap count 3 times. It was stupid, and I'll show you guys how I did that. But I'm pretty sure the Funsmith does work with Teemo. Otherwise, I don't know why she would be in this particular. I'm pretty sure Riot Games put her in the same world, on the same deck, you know, general deck as Teemo for a reason. So it should work. It should work. It'll add you extra puff cap damage. If not, then there's other things I have that do Nexus damage, and I have spells and stuff. But anyways, moving on. I want to show you guys what I have in Ionia and how this works with my Teemo deck. So it's the Kinku Wayfinder. Not the Kinky Wayfinder, just the Kinku Wayfinder. Kinku, when I think it's Kinku Wayfinder, in case you want to confuse it with Kinky. So they have this effect called Allegiance, which basically summons 2 1-cost allies from our deck. So from your deck, basically. So what happens is if I'm producing a shit ton of Teemos and they're the only card in my deck that's 1 cost. The way this works is if the next card that I'm about to summon is an Ionia card, so the next card in your deck has to be from Ionia. If it's not, this effect will not work. So I try to have as many random Ionia cards as possible, useful ones obviously, but and you know, I have to have a certain amount of cards in my deck, right? So some of these, they're kind of they sometimes get in the way, but because of Kinku Wayfinder, it kind of makes it easier for me to get Teemo quickly. So in case I don't get Teemo, I can get Kinku Wayfinder, and I do have a lot of Ionia cards, so it makes it easy for me to get Teemo back. In case I'm just not getting him, you know, bad RNG, whatever. So this is bad RNG protection. You get Kinku Wayfinder, or in case you just want to one-shot your enemy in the next round, and you have already you already have Parade Electro Rig with Teemo, you already have a shit ton of Teemos in your deck. And you just want to one-shot the enemy in the next turn. Summon Kinku Wayfinder, you get 3 Teemos and 1 attack, and the enemy's basically dead. There's just no way you can get around that. Most people don't have elusive cards. You know, there's not a lot of elusive cards, and most people don't summon elusive cards very often. They are a thing, and you know, anyone can get an elusive card, but it's I don't usually see them. Usually, it is in Shadow Isle decks or, you know, Zed decks, things like that. A lot of them are pretty low health, like Shadow Assassin, right? They're pretty easy to kill, and like I said, you have so many Teemos that it really shouldn't matter anyways. So yeah, that's how that works, and that's how you get a shit ton of puff caps. Like last game, I drew like 100 puff caps on this person's deck. They were taking 5 damage per card they drew. It was really funny. 5 Nexus damage, and that's damage that they can't stop. There's no way to block it or anything. They just take it. The most they can do is probably heal themselves, but at that point, you can't heal your way out of that. Anyways, let's moving forward. So the next thing is the Empyrean. It's elusive, you know, so in case there's like a big elusive enemy I can't take down, I have the Empyrean, you know, whatever. If it's that late in the game, and, you know, there's a big elusive enemy I can't take down, I have the Empyrean for that. You know, if there's a Yasuo or an enemy that might one-shot, you know, do something crazy to me, I have Yone, who could stun 2 enemies. One of the issues that I constantly come around is Teemo, you know, he's really low HP. There's some sort of, you know, maybe like a Shadow Assassin. I see a lot of Shadow Assassins. Usually that's the elusive card that I see. Or maybe, there's some other elusive cards that I see coming from, I think, Zon and Piltover. I forgot the name of it, but there's one other elusive card. I think it's like a girl and a Yordle. I guess I'll just show you guys what it is instead of just not showing you. Yeah, Green Glade Duo. So this one's really common as well. So those are probably the elusive cards you should be looking out for. Most likely, you know, Shadow Assassin and Green Glade Duo. Right, whatever. So those are the cards I usually see. So what I do to counter that is I take Twin Disciples. I usually get Twin Disciples pretty quickly. It's usually in my hand. And I just buff Teemo. That's it. I give him 3 HP, extra 3 HP, and he can usually tank that one hit. If it's some sort of spell or something, I can just deny, Deny, by the way, can block fast spells, slow spells, and skills. Skills are this shit. Like if someone summons a Yone on me and they try to stun me, I can deny the Yone stun, right? So that's what that deny is for, in case, you know, it's just bad luck protection, you know, just to make sure I don't get screwed over by something. And of course, you know, the little cherry on the top, I have Shadow Shift. So if I need to, you know, if I absolutely have to just get them out of the way, I can Shadow Shift. So I have a few ways of protecting my Teemo and my other cards from being one shot. These are the ways I do that. And then of course Shadow Assassin is just useful. You know, I can draw more cards. Herald Spring in case I'm taking a lot of damage. I can heal myself. So yeah, these are just the cards I have. Anyways, I'm going to stop talking and I'm going to actually show you guys how this works. Alright, so let's play this. Let's do this. As you can see, here's the bug I was talking about. Wow, I'm playing nobody, and he's playing 3 nobodies. I love it. I love Riot Games. Perfect. That is kind of annoying though, because I don't know what champions he has. Actually, I think I can still find out. Actually, let's see. All right, so I have a few Kinku Wayfinders. This might be problematic. I should have probably gotten rid of this card. All right, so he has a Fiora, Lucian, Garen. Okay, interesting. So that means, let's see. Oh, I see what he's doing. Okay. Yeah, so this guy, he's probably going to use Fiora and Lucian and Garen to quickly end the game. He can use both Lucian and Garen to rally, which basically means I can attack right now. He cannot, but if he uses rally, he can also attack me, which is annoying. Which will basically what will happen is if Fiora kills 4 of my any of my champions, followers, whatever, I will literally lose the game. So it's pretty frustrating. I've seen 4 allies were allied Senna Satona. That is really stupid. Just watching Senna alone die. That's enough. This is very similar to Lucian. I mean, Thresh. Just the way Thresh works. So that's very interesting. Huh. Okay.
Soldiers, to me!
Alright, so far... Right now, I just need to stall. Next round, I could summon my Kinku Wayfinder. So, right now, all I'm doing is I'm using my Skeld Snapper, which, by the way, you can choose whether or not it has 5 damage, 5 HP, or, you know, 2 damage and 5 HP. So, that's kind of the way that card works. And I just use this card to stall, in case I don't have Teemo. So yeah, right now I'm having a lot of Ionia cards. Get summoned. Hopefully I get my Teemos right now.
Everyone here?
Hey, there we go. There you go. That's what I'm talking about. See that? And you can actually do this. Okay, you can't summon 2 champions at once. Like if I have a Teemo and if I have a Teemo in play and I have a Teemo in my hand, that Teemo in my hand becomes something else. It's not I can't just summon 2 champions of the same kind. Okay, so that's what makes this card really OP with Teemo. Anyways, I will
They'll never know what hit them.
I'm gonna save these cards. I could use them to attack, but I'd rather save them in case I need to defend. I'd rather just defend. Oh shit, that's gonna suck. Wow.
Just trying to help. Dice doesn't mean everything.
And this is what I was talking about. They'll do things like that to you, but like I said, we have that little party thing, so we can keep summoning Teemos. I think in that case, what I could have also done is I could have just used Shadow Shift, at least
Where you go, I go.
Put him in my hand, but you know, whatever. Let's see here. I think I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait around here.
This is mercy.
Interesting, okay. Interesting.
I'll take care of this.
Actually... I do want to keep my Herald though, just because I don't really have any big tanks aside from like the Empyrean and Yone. It's kind of about as tanky as I get, to be honest. So it will suck.
Extra hands never hurt.
Ah shit, I fucked that up. Let's see what happens here. Ooh, interesting. That's gonna really suck. Alright, so he has no spell mana, so that allows me to freely attack. And here we go, the level up.
Planting your mushrooms.
I love this. I love that effect. It's great.
Who's a good boy?
That's great. I love it. So I did fuck this up. Since I did not have, since the next card was it
Bring in the heat.
uh-oh. Alright, well I gotta block this guy,
It
this
will
guy.
be done. I'll take care of this.
I love the smell of mushrooms in the morning.
Alright, so we gotta keep our Teemo alive because he's the last Teemo I have, and I'm gonna use these guys to block, basically, so I'm gonna have to just rely on the party machine to summon all my Teemos.
Adjustment for a lot of pow.
So ideally what should happen is, since I have the Funsmith, she's gonna actually make it so that my shrooms do extra damage, so... let's hope this works the way it's supposed to. It should. It should work just fine. Oh, wow, okay. See, he's actually afraid of this. He was afraid of her. He knew what I was up to. Alright, now... I think I'm gonna have to end this quickly. So hopefully...
Armed and ready.
Yeah, so hopefully he has enough shrooms, he can summon 4 shrooms, and I can one-shot him next round. But yeah, I'm gonna have to stall a little bit longer. Nice. Oh, nice, and I have Twin Disciples. Perfect. So yeah, like I said, it's getting to mid-game, so I'm starting to have issues. And this guy has a Demacia deck, so mid-game's like perfect for him. How about... No. And this is why I keep Deny. Like I said, just bullshit like this. I can't block all of that. I probably can't block anything right now. Okay, actually, Yone might be our saving grace here. Yes.
I have come for the unforgiven.
I have come for the unforgiven. Nice. So at least now I can block just enough to survive into the next round.
Room for doubt. Taste my steel.
So it's a good thing I actually saved until the very end. Alright, well, you made my Funsmith useless, so...
Not gonna outgunned.
So now you literally just get to have fun with her.
Do not interfere.
Alright, well... See, the thing is, I don't want to take 4 damage. Fuck it. Let's just hope this works out. Hopefully it doesn't buff one of his cards.
Fail. Take my element.
Okay, might be able to actually win in the next 2 rounds. Like I said, the longer he stalls, the more shrooms he's gonna take. The more shrooms he's gonna take. So hopefully he summons 3 shrooms next round. Let's see what happens. That can happen. Oh, perfect. The only thing is, I don't want to lose,
It is time.
so I'm just gonna immediately attack. Because I could get my Pareto Electric, get way more Teemos, and do that fun Teemo thing I was talking about, where I have like a bazillion Teemos. However, I'd rather just do this. Just immediately obliterate him right now. Let's just obliterate him. All right, there we go. And there you go, more shrooms. And that's how you do it. That's how you win. Like I was saying, unfortunately, we weren't able to get 200 Teemo shrooms, but you guys saw how we were able to do that. We were able to summon more than 1 Teemo. And yeah, that's how it works. If you ever need to get to mid game, that's kind of the way I deal with it. I'm just like, fuck it. I'm gonna rush the game because there's no way I can defend against all these fucking Demacia champions. And yeah, so I hope this helped you guys a little bit, gave you some a little bit of just a few tips and tricks as to how to play Teemo, and at least how to build them. This Teemo deck in particular, I have no other champions here. You of course you can have other champions in this kind of deck. I mean, if I had a choice, I would probably take like a Heimerdinger or a Karma, maybe a Shen or Yasuo. Really, anyone in Ionia is perfect with Teemo, just because you're able to do so much. You can just be really fucking annoying, like really, really annoying with Teemo, with other champions, really. In this case, though, I don't have Shen, I don't have Yasuo or Heimerdinger, right? So, so in this case, I just kind of work it out like this. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys in the next one, and I'll be making more videos about Runeterra. I actually have a lot of fun with this game, so sorry about the rants, sorry about the weird excitedness. It's a fun game. All right, so yeah, just leave a comment, leave a like. You know what to do. Of course, feel free to subscribe. I will be making more videos like this. They're a blast. So yeah, all right, awesome. All right, I'll see you guys in the next one.